right, tonight, new details about what was really happening on the Trump campaign while Michael Cohen was admittedly trying to influence the election. Back in the summer of 2016, then candidate Trump fighting tooth and nail to get the Republican nomination. But at the same time, Cohen was working on a payment to, quote, suppress Trump affair allegations from woman number one, who matches the description of former Playboy model Karen McDougal. Then in October of 2016, the month before the election, you may recall that infamous Access Hollywood tape. It was released.
You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. You just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the I can do anything.
All right, so then in the days immediately after that, Cohen was negotiating a $130,000 payment to woman number two, who matches the description of Stormy Daniels. Now to February 2017, Trump is president for nearly a month, and already he's been hit with his first major crisis. His national security advisor, Michael Flynn, was fired for lying about his contacts with Russian officials. The day after his ouster, as Trump was dealing with the political backlash of that, Michael Cohen was actually getting reimbursed for his Stormy Daniels payment. And finally, April of this year, the FBI raiding Michael Cohen's offices for information on those two payments, Trump calling it an attack on our country.
They broke into the office of one of my personal attorneys, good man, and it's a disgraceful situation. It's a total witch hunt. It's an attack on our country in a true sense. It's an attack on what we all stand for.
All right, joining me now is former federal prosecutor Kathy Fleming and criminal defense attorney Ambrosio Rodriguez. Great to have both of you with us. Kathy, let me begin with you, because yesterday, obviously, some are calling President Trump an unindicted co-conspirator right now. What does that mean for the president going forward, since he can't be indicted?
Well, he can be indicted. What he can't be is tried while he's a sitting president.
Okay.
There could be charges brought against him. I would hope that everybody, if they brought charges, would keep them in a sealed indictment. I don't think anybody thinks it would be good if we had pending charges against a president who was actually sitting in the United States. It would be disruptive, no matter who it is, no matter what side of the aisle you're on, no matter what you think of our sitting president. But the fact is that he could have charges brought against him, just can't be tried.
Okay, and has that been tested in the Supreme Court and upheld?
I don't think so. I don't think we have a historical precedent for anyone actually being tried. Generally, the only way that high crimes and misdemeanors have been dealt with in our history has been through the avenue of impeachment. And of course, we had Richard Nixon, who resigned before anything happened, and then we had Gerald Ford, who pardoned him prospectively before any charges ever could be brought, if they were going to have been brought.
Okay, so let me play you this soundbite from Michael Cohen. This is when what he had to say about President Trump as he negotiated that deal to silence Karen McDougal. Take a listen to this.
He's more to us than just the boss. He's a mentor. He's a sage. He's like family. And when you have a problem, Mr. Trump feels like he has a problem.
So we now heard Ambrosio, the president, has distanced himself from Michael Cohen. He's called him a bad lawyer. Is Trump's best defense here to paint Cohen as a liar? Or what is the best strategy for President Trump?
Right. He really only has one strategy, which is to dirty up the witness against him, because that's who Michael Cohen is now after what he said in court yesterday. And I want to be very clear with the viewers. In federal court, a judge takes an allocution or a factual basis, which is done under oath. This is a very big deal, what Michael Cohen said yesterday. So the only avenue that Trump has is to attack Cohen. I don't really think it'll be successful, given the fact that there are tapes of the conversation involving the payouts. So President Trump is limited in his defense, and I think this is really going to become more of a public relations issue. And to be quite honest, Giuliani is not doing a very good job defending him, but Dershowitz is. All
right, so you talked about Giuliani. Interesting you bring that point up, because I want to play you these contradicting statements from both Trump and Giuliani on the Stormy Daniels payment. Take a listen to this.
Do you know about the $130,000 payment to Stormy Daniels? Do you know where he got the money to make that payment?
No, I don't know.
It's not campaign money. No campaign finance violation. So
they funneled it through the law firm.
Funneled through the law firm, and the president repaid it.
Oh, I didn't know he did.
Yeah.
The president reimbursed that over a period of several months.
All right, so Kathy, how do you make sense of that when you have the president's lawyer saying he knew about the payments came, and as he said, funneled through a law firm, and then you had on the left, as we played you there aboard Air Force One, the president saying he didn't know about the payments and that the payments didn't come from him?
It's hard to reconcile the two of those. I don't think it's a good idea, and I don't think any lawyer thinks it's a good idea to be trying cases in the press, and particularly when you don't know what the facts are or you can't keep the facts straight. I don't think it's advised or well advised for either of them to be talking without knowing what the facts are, and they should figure them out. With the allocution yesterday and the documents that came out, we've learned that what happened was the repayment was made and it was disguised, or it was labeled legal fees, and it was repaid in tranches of $35,000 a month to the law firm of Michael Cohen, quote, for legal fees, which is another problem because they weren't legal fees. And it was an amount that was higher than was originally given to make the payment for keeping her quiet. So both of them are wrong.
So to that point, Ambrosio, the defense here, if you were trying to put a defense strategy that is trying to reconcile what Giuliani said with what the president said, is that even possible, or what is your take? Final thoughts on this?
Well, look, the only defense that Trump had on this was that the money wasn't used to pay off both of these women for political reasons, but it was in order to protect his family. That is, he didn't want the First Lady and his children to know that he had two of these affairs. But he's not willing to say that. So he has maintained, and he even said it today on Fox and Friends, that this was about politics. It doesn't matter whether it came from personal funds or campaign funds. It is still a violation of the law to use money for political reasons in a campaign. And that's the real problem that the president has going forward.
Yeah, I think a lot of legal assessment is that it is only going to get worse going forward from here with all the various accounts that we are getting. Kathy Fleming and Ambrosio Rodriguez, thank you both very much.